Alright, so we're going to give you my first driving impression of the Subaru Solterra. I've just popped it into reverse. I do like the fact we've got physical stops for things like the indicators. However, as you may have heard it does give you a little beep reminder to let you know that you are in reverse. Now we have a HGV coming towards us. We've got a 360 camera there, which is quite good. There we go, and it's got little colours that went from green to yellows closer to that other Subaru, so that was quite good. And we're off. Now the Solterra is all-wheel drive as standard, unlike, say for example, the BZ4X or the Lexus RZ that it shares its underpinnings with that have a front-wheel drive model. You do get a limited and a touring package depending on what you want from your Subaru. Now, I am in the touring spec, which is the top of the range model, which gives me things like the leather seats, and we've got that sunroof as well above us. There's a couple of other things as well included, which I'll cover on the Full Cars of Glasgow review video. But yeah, let's get this out on the road. Now, for range, we're at 51% at 95 miles on today. I do have heated seats on, heated steering wheel, and yeah, so probably going to double that. Realistically, we're looking around, what, 200 miles of range? Something like that in the real world with things on. So yeah, that's not too terrible, I think, for a four-wheel drive EV. If I can find a way to tell us what we've got on the screen, let me just... 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour as well, so actually the kind of driving efficiency of this car is kind of right where I'd expect a tall, boxy, crossover style car to be. When they get more aerodynamic and slower, for example something like a Tesla Model 3 or a Polestar 2, then it kind of creeps forward towards the 4 miles per kilowatt hour. So right around 3.1 miles is not actually too bad in my eyes. Maybe some people think that's terrible. Like, I know the Hyundai Kona, which is a smaller EV, does a little bit better, and that gets closer to 4, if not over 4. But I'm going to be happy with that. I'm happy to report that back. Now let me just get the foot down a little bit. Definitely punchy enough. You feel that EV kick with this car, and that's what EVs always provide, that nice linear acceleration, especially when you're moving off, say, from a roundabout, something like that. We're just going to go around a roundabout over a very bumpy part of the road. Let's see how we're getting on. Dynamically doing well, handled that pretty okay, not too much body roll. I like the fact you can pull through the corner there, that was quite nice, just to accelerate through. There's a cash guy in front, and I would say we're sitting, it feels a little bit taller than a cash guy from my driver's position. And view out the front, you've got the gauge cluster that's raised up, just like the BZ4X. It's not like the Lexus RZ that's got a different design with a heads-up display. This is closer to the BZ4X, where the gauge cluster's kind of moved away from the driver and raised so it acts like a heads-up display almost, because it's in your line of vision. Now you have to have the steering wheel a little bit lower, just because that's how you would get used to it, so you can see over it. Now if I accelerate again, national speed limit, there we go, like no problem at all. So if you're looking for a nice punchy EV, this is going to be one to do. It's not a plaid or a M performance like M60e BMW, but it's fast enough for your family vehicle, which is, at the end of the day, this is what you're buying this car for. Now I am enjoying having physical buttons to touch, on the steering wheel for the like your phone, your volume, your lane departure, etc. can all be turned on and off at a touch of a button, which are physical buttons, are not hidden within a menu. And unlike the Lexus RZ counterpart that had those, you had to touch capacitive buttons that related to things on the heads-up display, in the Subaru we do have physical buttons to push. Same in the centre console here, we do have physical buttons to push, which is kind of refreshing for 2024, because not everybody wants it to be tech heavy and in a screen. And in this car we do have like your auto hold and your camera button, X mode, all at a touch of a button in this vehicle. Now, riding this car, we've been over very bumpy sections of roads on this journey so far, and it's doing all right. This is going to be kind of my first drive of this car, so this is it's Joe would say brutally honest review. But yeah, it's fairly compliant, and we're riding on quite large 20-inch wheels, so I'm just absorbing the impacts there. I think it's doing an alright job. It's definitely more comfortable than, say, for example, the Tesla Model Y that I drove earlier this year. Now, this visibility is great out front. It's got the little haunches on each of the fenders just to kind of gauge where the car is. Now, I have seen people on YouTube take the Solterra off road, so that might be handy for that, trying to get your wheel placement. I guess maybe parking against a curb, I can look over and I can see that. So this car does have the 360 camera, so you've also got that as a benefit, if you happen to visually rely on the body markers. But yeah, we've got that. We've got a relatively fixed C-pillar, but visibility out the mirror is fine. You look up and I can see right out the rear area, so that's 100% okay for myself. And I said in the full review I will sit in the back and show you what the back space is, but at first glance it looks the same, if not identical to what the BZ4X is, and that offered a flat floor, comfortable seating for 3 abreast, so can't imagine it's changed too much here. Now, you're buying the Subaru because you maybe want the capability for the 4-wheel drive, you're coming out of maybe an Outback or an XV or another Subaru brand and you're loyal to that, and maybe perhaps you want the buttons, and some people might want an EV with buttons, a more traditional setup in the car, and that's what Subaru can offer you. So I said, go check out the full review at Cars of Glasgow on YouTube. This is a kind of first impressions, brutally honest review, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much to Eaglesham Garage for loaning me this car for today's video. Ciao.